Welcome to Decoristique, your cozy corner for vintage, classic, and rustic home decor inspiration. If you're dreaming of a home that whispers timeless charm and nostalgic beauty, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the most beautiful and effective color palettes to help you achieve that authentic vintage aesthetic at home. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for weekly inspiration on vintage decor, styling tips, and home transformations. If you love the charm of the past brought into modern living, make sure to like this video and leave a comment telling us which palette is your favorite. Now, grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's explore these 17 vintage-inspired color palettes that will bring your home to life with warmth, character, and soul. Our first palette is a classic, sepia brown and antique cream. This pairing evokes old photographs and aged paper, making it ideal for living rooms, libraries, or bedrooms filled with antiques. Sepia adds depth and nostalgia, while cream balances it with softness. Incorporate distressed leather furniture, lace curtains, and vintage art prints to amplify the mood. This palette works beautifully in rooms with lots of natural light, creating a warm, amber glow that transports you to another era. Sage Green and Dusty Rose is a delicate, romantic palette that whispers vintage femininity. Perfect for bedrooms or reading nooks, it evokes the feel of old-fashioned floral wallpapers and faded love letters. Sage brings an earthy calm, while Dusty Rose adds charm and softness. Together, they create an inviting, cozy space that feels gentle and time-worn. Use vintage botanical prints, rose-patterned textiles, and patinaed brass to complement this palette seamlessly. This bold yet refined duo of navy blue and mustard gold channels mid-century and Art Deco vibes. It's a palette full of drama, contrast, and historical sophistication. Navy anchors the room with depth, while mustard adds a cheerful vintage pop, reminiscent of 1940s kitchens and velvet armchairs. Pair with walnut furniture, velvet textures, and geometric patterns to complete the retro vibe with elegance. Olive green and terracotta are earthy, grounded, and rustic, ideal for that farmhouse meets vintage aesthetic. Think countryside kitchens and sun-drenched sitting rooms. Olive tones down the warmth of terracotta, offering a mature, lived-in look. Together, they create a palette that feels organic and timeless. Use clay pots, wrought iron fixtures, and vintage wooden cabinets to enhance the natural beauty of this combination. Sweet, soft, and subtly sophisticated, powder blue and ivory is a palette steeped in vintage charm. It's perfect for romantic spaces like a guest bedroom or a breakfast nook. The blue brings serenity, while ivory keeps things light and elegant. It's a nod to 1920s Parisian apartments and Victorian interiors. Add lace accents, bone china, and antique mirrors to bring this airy combination to life. Rich and classic, Burgundy and Taupe speak of old libraries, heritage homes, and worn leather armchairs. This palette brings a sense of tradition and coziness. Burgundy adds drama and depth, while Taupe grounds the space, keeping it warm and sophisticated. Incorporate dark woods, oil paintings, and vintage books to bring this palette to its full potential. Mint green and buttercream feels like stepping into a retro kitchen from the 1950s, bright, cheerful, and a little bit whimsical. This playful combination adds life and freshness, perfect for spaces like kitchens, bathrooms, or breakfast corners. Use enamelware, vintage signage, and checkered flooring to really drive home the nostalgic look. For a more moody and romantic vintage vibe, try charcoal gray and mauve. This unexpected duo feels like an old love story preserved in fabric and stone. Charcoal creates a dramatic backdrop, while mauve softens the look with its faded rose quality. Ideal for bedrooms or creative spaces. Pair with antique silver, floral upholstery, and vintage chandeliers to create a hauntingly beautiful ambience. This pastel-forward palette of peach and pistachio is joyful, retro, and oh so sweet. It brings the charm of old diners and mid-century living rooms. Peach warms the room, while pistachio cools it, creating a cheerful and balanced energy. Great for playful living spaces or sunrooms. Complete the look with vinyl records, curved lines, and retro-inspired patterns for a blast from the past. Rust and cream create a palette that is both grounded and glowing. It reminds us of autumn leaves, aged textiles, and handmade pottery. Rust introduces warmth and richness, while cream keeps the space light and welcoming. It's perfect for a vintage meets boho space. Add in rattan, handwoven rugs, and flea market finds to fully realize this lived-in vintage vibe. Gentle and poetic, soft lilac and gray bring a dreamy elegance to a vintage space. This is a palette that evokes vintage perfumes and faded florals. Lilac adds a romantic flair, while gray lends a grounded sophistication. Great for bedrooms, dressing rooms, or vintage-inspired nurseries. Use floral patterns, antique picture frames, and delicate glass decor to complement this whispery aesthetic. Denim blue and warm beige combine casual comfort with timeless elegance. It's reminiscent of cozy vintage Americana, homespun, heartfelt, and simple. Denim adds relaxed coolness, while beige introduces warmth and balance. This palette is ideal for open-plan spaces or family rooms. Layer with quilted fabrics, weathered wood, and vintage signage to complete the nostalgic feel. If you're going for a dramatic vintage richness, forest green and brass is a winning duo. It harks back to vintage study rooms and gilded dining parlors. forest green feels deep and elegant, while brass adds a golden highlight that feels regal and timeless. Incorporate velvet upholstery, ornate mirrors, and brass candlesticks to elevate the space with vintage grandeur. For something light, bright, and cheerful with a nostalgic edge, try coral and tan. It's playful yet grounded, a nod to mid-century and 60s summer home. Coral infuses energy, while tan provides an earthy anchor. This palette works wonderfully in sunrooms, guest rooms, or retro bathroom. Add vintage wicker furniture, soft lighting, and playful art to make the space feel lovingly lived in. Elegant and subtly glamorous, blush pink and aged bronze create a palette that feels like vintage romance at its finest. It brings softness with a touch of glimmer. Blush introduces a tender charm, while bronze offers vintage metallic depth. This combo is perfect for bedrooms, entryways, or powder rooms. Use antique frames, soft textiles, and candlelight to highlight this palette's graceful beauty. Thank you so much for joining us here on Decoristique as we explored the best color palettes for achieving a timeless vintage aesthetic. We hope these combinations sparked your imagination and inspired your next decorating adventure. We'd love to hear which palette spoke to you the most, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful. It really supports our channel and helps vintage lovers like you find us. If you haven't already, subscribe for more home decor inspiration that celebrates history, character, and warmth. Until next time, stay inspired, stay vintage.